It started as a regular day at a luxury private jet showroom, until it wasn't. A wealthy executive, dressed in a sharp suit, couldn't help but smirk when a black farmer walked in wearing worn-out overalls and dusty boots. The executive whispered jokes under his breath, mocking the farmer for even thinking he could afford anything in that showroom. Little did he know, the man he was laughing at wasn't just any farmer. As the conversation unfolded, the room grew tense. The farmer calmly listened, his silence more powerful than words. Then, with a quiet confidence, he did something that left everyone speechless. The $3.5 million jet the executive bragged about, it wasn't going to him. But how did this humble farmer turn the tables so effortlessly? Stay tuned to find out how this story takes an unexpected turn you won't believe. The executive chuckled as he watched the farmer admire the sleek jet, nudging his colleague and whispering, probably lost on his way to the tractor store. The farmer didn't react. He simply walked around the aircraft, quietly observing every detail. What the executive didn't know was that this wasn't just any farmer. Years of hard work, smart investments, and resilience had built him an agricultural empire spanning thousands of acres. But he never flaunted his wealth. His overalls told a story of dedication, not poverty. The sales staff hesitated to approach him, casting doubtful glances, unsure if he was even worth their time. Yet the farmer remained calm, studying the jet with a focused eye. The executive leaned back, certain this man was out of place. But why was the farmer here? And what was he planning to do next? The answer would leave them all stunned. The executive strutted over, a smug grin on his face. "You know," he sneered, "this jet isn't exactly for hauling hay. Maybe you're looking for something more practical." His words dripped with sarcasm, drawing quiet chuckles from a few nearby staff. The farmer slowly turned to face him, meeting his eyes without a hint of anger, just a steady calm that unsettled the room. Meanwhile, across the showroom, a young sales associate watched the exchange closely. She had seen wealthy clients in all forms before, and something about this farmer's quiet confidence didn't sit right with her. Unlike her colleagues, she wasn't so quick to judge. She hesitated, wondering if she should step in. The executive, feeling in control, leaned closer. "Jets like this, they're for people who understand real business." But the farmer simply smiled. "Good," he said quietly. "Then let's talk business." The room fell silent. The executive blanked, caught off guard by the farmer's steady response. "Oh, you want to talk business?" He scoffed, forcing a laugh. "All right then, tell me, what kind of farm pays for a $3.5 million jet?" His tone dripped with disbelief, drawing more amused smirks from the staff. But the farmer didn't flinch. He casually reached into his pocket and pulled out a sleek leather checkbook, its edges worn but clean. He flipped it open slowly, the pages crisp. The young sales associate's eyes widened. This wasn't some bluff. "I assume you take certified checks?" the farmer asked, voice calm and steady. The executive's smirk wavered for the first time. "Wait, you're serious?" he stammered. Without looking up, the farmer began writing. The pen glided smoothly across the check, each stroke tightening the tension in the air. The executive leaned in, his confidence cracking. Who are you?" The farmer paused, meeting his eyes with a slow smile. "Someone who knows business." The executive's face tightened, but before he could respond, the showroom doors swung open. In walked another sharply dressed man, his presence commanding immediate attention. The staff straightened up, recognizing him as the company's regional director, someone who rarely appeared unless something big was happening. His eyes scanned the room and locked onto the farmer. "Mr. Daniels," the director called out, his tone respectful. The executive's head snapped toward him, confusion spreading across his face. "Wait, you know him," he muttered. The director approached quickly, extending his hand. "We've been expecting you. Your company's wire transfer cleared this morning. My apologies for the delay, sir." The executive's smirk completely vanished. "Company? Wire transfer?" His mind scrambled to catch up. The farmer calmly shook the director's hand. "No problem. I was just getting to know your staff." The executive's face turned pale. This wasn't just a farmer buying a jet. This was a power move. But why would a man like this need a private jet? And what kind of business was he really running? The executive stood frozen, watching the regional director guide the farmer toward a private office. His mind raced, struggling to make sense of what he'd just heard. Moments later, the farmer paused at the doorway and turned back. "You were curious about my business," the farmer said, his voice calm but firm. "I own Daniel's Agricultural Group. We supply organic produce to some of the biggest global retailers. That includes the airline catering companies your jets rely on." The executive's jaw dropped. Not only was the farmer wealthy, but his company played a critical role in the industry that fueled the executive's own business. But the twist wasn't over. The farmer smiled slightly. "Funny thing is, I was actually here to finalize a partnership. But after today, I'll be taking my business elsewhere." The executive's face turned pale as the realization hit. His arrogance had just cost him a multimillion-dollar deal. The executive stood speechless as the farmer disappeared into the office with the regional director. The room, once filled with quiet laughter at the farmer's expense, now buzzed with awkward silence. The young sales associate who had quietly observed everything shook her head, realizing how quickly judgment can cloud opportunity. Minutes later, the farmer exited, a firm handshake sealing the deal. He gave the executive one last look, not of anger, but of quiet understanding. "It's not about how you look," he said calmly. "It's about how you treat people." With that, he left the showroom, the keys to his $3.5 million jet secured. The executive remained still, the weight of his arrogance sinking in. He hadn't just lost a sale. He'd lost respect, opportunity, and trust. And for everyone watching, the lesson was clear. Never underestimate anyone, because success wears many faces.